Here's the moment of truth. We're gonna see if I live after this. Cheers. You won't regret making this tea. Do you struggle to stop drinking soft drinks or soda pops when you know they just aren't good for you? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm going to show you how to make a super simple, delicious tea with only 3 ingredients that is not only good for you, but tastes absolutely amazing at the same time. Stick around until later in this video because I will share with you a 3rd important ingredient that you can add to this homemade tea that will not only enhance its flavor big time, but will be an absolute game changer so that you can crush your goals in 2024. Let's get it. Hi, I'm Blaze, and I help men and women to crush it in a healthy lifestyle by keeping it simple with plant-based foods. To get started in our tea today, we're just going to need a few ingredients to complete this entire task. I'm going to use this herb that is called mamaki, and this is the red veined leaf, also known as Pipterus albidus, a cousin to the nettle family. This herb is quite rare and only grows in one place in the world. If you are interested in purchasing this herb from me, then leave a comment down below because I've been considering selling some of the herbs and foods that I promote on this channel. I only source premium quality foods and herbs, so I wouldn't even consider anything less than premium quality. For this example, I'm going to fill this entire pot up with water, which will be about 1 gallon of water. And then I'm going to use about 5 ounces of this herb to flavor this tea. And then I will add my 2nd herb that will take this entire tea to another level. So stay tuned until the end because I will reveal the 2nd important herb that you can add to this tea that will be a game changer. The reason why I'm going to make such a big batch is because I usually batch some of my foods and drinks for the entire week. So I'll make a big batch and it'll last me throughout the week. It helps to save time and be more efficient. Simplicity is key. This herb not only tastes great, but it will flush your entire system and cleanse your blood. Super powerful and super tasty also. It tastes great. If you can't get your hands on this herb to make this beautiful tea, then what I recommend is that you possibly use something like a black tea. If you enjoy drinking black tea, this is a pretty good one. It's Newman's Own black tea and it's organic also. I'll leave a link down in the description box for this exact tea. This one is 100 tea bags. So to make a batch that is about 1 gallon worth, if you wanted to make tea for the entire week. If you want to lay off the soft drinks, energy drinks, and even soda pops, then I would suggest you make about at least 1 gallon at one time, or maybe even 1/2 gallon if you have a smaller pot. And then that way you'll have absolutely delicious tea to drink throughout the week, right? You can drink it hot. You can drink it as an iced tea too throughout a hot summer's day. So with this Newman's Own, you only need about 10 to 12 tea bags to make about 1 gallon of tea. Works quite well. So let's get started making this absolutely simple tea. First, we're going to just fill this up with water. Whatever you do, make sure that you are getting the best sourced water that you possibly can. Whether it's fresh spring water or good filtered water. Do not use the tap water unless you absolutely trust it. This is fresh spring water, so I'm not worried. Sometimes if you use tap water that is bad, that has fluoride and chlorine and all this other chemicals, it'll taint the taste of your tea and it won't taste the same. And then it's actually not going to be that helpful for you and your health. So fresh spring water or really good filtered water will work great. So Turn that on. Ideally, you don't want to be boiling your herbs in the hot water for a long period of time because you'll just destroy all the minerals. I'm going to bring the water to a boil and then I'm going to turn the stove off. Then I'm just going to add my 2 magical herbs and that'll be it. It's as simple as that. Once we let our tea steep for about 20 to 30 minutes, then I'll strain out the tea and just have pure golden sunshine in a bottle. Once we're done straining, then you can add a sweetener if you wish. Something like maple syrup, agave syrup, or even honey if you wish. Because I make this tea all the time and I absolutely love it, I'm just going to eyeball everything. This herb will give the tea an absolutely beautiful color, as you will see in the end. Then what I start doing is I just start crushing up the leaves into smaller pieces with my hands. If you have a pestle and mortar, you can also use that too to crush the leaves. And then if you're using the Newman's Own, just regular tea bags, you just wait till it comes to a boil and then you throw about 10 to 12 in. Why some of the simplest drinks that you can make on earth are always the best drinks. My theory is to always get the best quality of foods and liquids that you are putting into your body. Just do the best you can and that's good enough. Because when it comes to investing in your health, if you start now, 10, 20, 30 years down the road, you will thank yourself for starting earlier than later. So start today. If you made it to this part of the video, then I just wanted to say thank you for spending your precious time with me. So once we got all of our mamaki, once we have our mamaki crushed up into smaller pieces, see how beautiful that is? This is about at least 5 ounces, probably a little more. So we're talking, you know, this pot of tea is probably going to be about $200 worth. $200 of pure gold. I've been living a healthy, simple lifestyle for the past 8 years. Consistently, every day, day in and day out. I haven't drank any sodas in years. I have not eaten any type of fast foods in years. One of the best investments that you can ever make is starting with your health, your lifestyle. And this is what I love to share and teach on this channel, is how to live a healthy lifestyle by keeping it simple. Okay, it's time to reveal the second important herb that we're going to add into this tea. Drum roll, please. The third important ingredient that you can add to your homemade tea is basil. This is all basil, all this, every single one. I need to trim this basil right here, so I'm going to cut this huge branch. This is massive. This is the absolutely fresh, beautiful, and definitely tasty perennial basil. This thing grows all year long and it doesn't even flower. It just keeps growing and growing, so you can just top it off and just let it grow right back. This thing is absolutely beautiful. Because with basil, you want to prune it often. This one is a perennial though, so it just keeps growing all year long. So it was time to prune it. But this right here mixed with the mamaki is going to be a game changer. Make this tea today and I promise you will not regret it. So if you don't have the mamaki tea, you will be using the black tea, which works absolutely great with basil and black tea. So for this, I'm just going to strip off all the top leaves. I'm going to wash them real quick with water, and then I'm going to chop them a little and then mix them with the mamaki and throw them all in at the same time and let them steep for about 20 to 30 minutes. So I just break off the long leaves into smaller sections, and then I'm going to just start stripping the top. Super simple. You can always buy some basil at the store if you don't have fresh basil. You can use dry basil. Dry basil works great. You know, fresh is always the best, right? But if you got basil out in your yard, definitely use this herb. Everything I grow is organic, so you know I never have to worry about pesticides and all these petroleum-based fertilizers, right? On this channel, we just keep it simple. If you had to buy all these herbs in the store, I'm not kidding, this would easily be a $200 pot of gold. Better than spending $200 in soda pops. You will get results with this. If you haven't seen my video on how to harvest herbs like a Jedi, then check out the link above or down in the description box, where I show you how to harvest, clean, spin peppermint dry, and cure it like a pro. And in the end of that video, my peppermint came out to looking like this. Fresh, beautiful, and ready to make any type of peppermint flavored tea. Simple. Once we have all of our basil in our bowl, which this is definitely more than 5 ounces. I would say this is probably about 10 ounces because it's fresh and it has the water weight in it. So I'm going to use one of my favorite tools to rinse these guys in, which is a simple food grade bucket. Then I'll add some water, wash them out real quick, and then boom, we add them to the hot boiling water. Now that I added some water in the bucket, we're just going to clean them real quick by swishing them around, getting off any type of debris. Now we pour this out and run it through a strainer. Making amazing tasting teas is one of my favorite things to do. Leave a comment down below if you want to see me make more videos like this where I make different types of teas with different herbs. Making some of the most fragrant tasting teas for years now has absolutely leveled up my game. I'm going to mince the basil into smaller pieces just so they can extract the flavor, minerals, and vitamins out into the tea while it's steeping. Okay, so let's go. Okay, now that the water is coming to a boil, I'm going to throw all the chopped basil and mamaki in at the same time. And the cool thing with the tea is that if the flavor was too strong for you, all you need to do is add water to dilute it. This is what I love about teas. They're perfect at night if you want to relax, calm down. Tea is one of the best things that you can add to your nutritional game. Here we go. I wish you could smell this right now. Okay. Now we let that steep for 30 minutes. Once the tea is finished steeping for about 30 minutes, now we can pour the hot tea through a strainer to filter out all the herbs. And then I'll put the strainer in this pot, pour the bowl into the mason jars. You ready? This smells amazing. Let's see. Okay, I want to show you guys the process. Okay, you ready? Go. And now I'm going to pour the hot tea, because this is still really hot, into the mason jar, which this is 2 quarts, which is half of a gallon. We'll see if this will fill it up. Whoa. Beautiful. I'm going to see if I can strain it twice, because I still see little bits and pieces, which is not the end of the world. Sometimes what I'll do is, honestly, I'll let the tea steep even overnight. If I make a big batch at night, I'll just leave it till the morning, and in the morning it reaches room temperature. I'll run the tea through one of these bags right here, which this is a nut milk bag. This thing will filter the tea perfectly. It'll filter out all the tiny bits and pieces. This works much better than a normal strainer, for sure. You do not want to pour the hot tea when it's hot through here. I mean, you could, but I wait till it gets to room temperature. Then I'll pour it through one of these. I'll leave a link in the description box for this high quality nut milk bag, which is commercial grade, and it's the best filtration bag that I have ever used. But since the tea is hot, I'll just run it through the strainer for now. Look at that beautiful color. Look at how much herbs are in there. This is definitely medicinal. And delicious. If you could smell this right now, you'd be blown away. This right here is a gallon of tea, which is 4 quarts. If you drank 1 pint of tea a day, which is this size right here, this would last you 8 days. If you drank a quart a day, which is twice this size right here, if you drank this much tea a day, which is perfectly fine, I do this all the time, this would last you 4 days right here, plus a little extra. Now would be the perfect time to add some sweetener to your tea if you desire. If you wanted to add maple syrup, agave syrup, or even honey to your tea, especially honey sometimes, they can sometimes be thick and not really fully melted. This is like the perfect temperature to scoop out some honey, put it in here, and it'll just melt the honey with ease. So in total, so let's pour this last amount in here. So in total, we got over a gallon worth of tea with 2 simple ingredients. 3 if you're including water. 2 herbs and water. That's it. Plus a sweetener if you wish. Okay, the moment is here. Let's do a taste test to see how good this tea came out. Okay, here's the moment of truth. We're gonna see if I live after this. Cheers. Pretty tasty. You won't regret making this tea. Cheers, you guys. If you made it until this part of the video, then thank you. I appreciate you. If you found value in this type of content that I make and appreciate the time and effort that it takes me to create these videos, then crush that subscribe button and smash that like button down as a way to say thank you. This is how this beautiful tea looks up close. As you can see, there's like an amber type of reddish color in here. That is from the mamaki. And the taste is astonishing. Pure gold. If you love keeping it simple and enjoy eating tasty, delightful foods like I do, then watch this video right here, where I show you how to make one of the best dehydrated fruits I have ever tasted. This is a gold medal tea in my books. Cheers.